Alright, chat, for those of you who do not know, I made a video on this guy like a month ago, and I was critiquing this video where he said the Arkham Batman isn't a great Batman, because he made ridiculous claims like Batman doesn't save anybody. So, he made a response video, this was 3 months ago, but I never got around to even watching this video. So, we're going to be watching this for the first time. We are going to react to it. Don't abuse your desk this time. Don't tell me what to do. My desk goes through plenty of abuse, and she likes it just fine. So we're all good. So we're not going to waste too much time. We're going to get right into this.
Somebody made a video about one of my videos, I guess. So
I think quite a few people probably did.
Here we are.
Now, I may or may not be a teeny bit of an Arkham Batman glazer, but by no means am I obsessed with the character or anything. I mean, it's not like I would yap about him for minutes on end and praise the man like crazy.
But then you also were going on about how he doesn't save anybody, so, I mean, which one is it?
That could never be me for real.
Who the fuck would do that? Oh, shit.
It's always time to defend my glorious King Arkham Batman and how he, in fact, is not a bad depiction of the character in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, this isn't hate to the Adam Smith or anything. He makes pretty good videos, so there is no malicious intent here.
Is that the video, or am I just hearing something?
In any way, shape, or form. Obviously, this isn't hate to the Adam Smith or anything.
What, oh my god.
He makes pretty good videos, so...
Oh, okay. It literally just clued into me that he was reacting to someone watching. Okay.
There is no malicious intent here. I just respectfully disagree. I love you.
Respect.
Yeah. This is all respect. Same thing. If Adam Smith's watching this video, it's all respect, brother. It's just like, I just happen to disagree, and it's an open discussion. Something fun for me to talk about. Anyway, let's not talk about views. I guess do it.
I'll show you some parts of the video. I mean, yeah, I guess Batman in Arkham City didn't really save that many people. If you...
I hope that you're joking. I really hope that your next sentence is going to prove that statement wrong.
Neglect him saving the countless political prisoners throughout Arkham City. Saving...
Wait, I'm also going to... Yeah, political prisoners. Vicky Vale, like they're showing here. Saving Selena Kyle at the start of the game. He saved numerous people. He saved Ra's al Ghul out of the Wonder Tower. Who didn't he save throughout the course of this game, realistically? Besides the Joker, but that was the Joker's fault.
Vicky Vale from getting shot by a couple of Joker snipers, saving Jack Ryder twice at the beginning of the game, and prevented. He also saved the numerous cops who were captured.
I can't hear what the Adam Smith is saying here because he's not pausing the video and then making his point. He's making his point while the video's playing, and it's very, very hard.
By Penguin in the Iceberg Lounge. There was that one nurse who was hiding from the Tiger Guards and a bunch of other goons underneath Wonder Tower when Batman was in search for racial...
I really hope that he actually has, like, a decent response to this. Maybe he just, like, had a momentary lapse.
Uggle's blood saved Catwoman and the person Mad Hatter kidnapped in the other side mission.
You got me there.
Batman didn't really send that many people in the game.
One of the biggest things it's always...
I mean, you right.
Future editing, Adam, here to interject for what will likely be the first of many.
Okay.
Times. I just wanted to put out there that, well, this is valid, and Bruce certainly saves plenty more people than I had originally realized. I think my point about the way he treats them is still very valid.
But he's... Well, I don't know what you're expecting, though. If he saves a super criminal, he's still gonna arrest them and be more violent towards them. And if you're referring to, like, political prisoners and stuff like that, he's not bad towards them at all. He's not bad towards the political prisoners. He's not bad to Vicky Vale. He's not particularly rude to anybody who isn't a criminal. And if they're criminals, then I think they kind of deserve the treatment.
He goes to Selena for intel. He talks to the people.
Yes, but he wasn't rude to Selena.
In the Iceberg Lounge for intel. Let's see who else was there. When it comes to Vicky...
Yeah, because he's Batman. He does need intel. Because even though he saves you, he asks you questions when he falls up. It's like a police officer.
Vale and the nurses, though, it seems like that might actually just be completely true. He just kind of saves them and doesn't really get much out of it. Anyway.
But he does try to get information, but at the same time, what do you expect him to do? Save and be like, okay, here you go. All right, I'm out of here. No, he needs to get more information and to figure out the best way to stop said supervillains.
Back to the video. Victor Zsasz. He just calls him an animal. It does not seem very heroic, Bruce. It doesn't seem like you're viewing these people as people.
Victor Zsasz is an animal, let's be honest.
People, obviously. You're kind of calling them animals.
Maybe because Victor Zsasz is a serial killer? I'm not sure why Batman, or anyone for that matter, would go out of their way to convey empathy or compassion for a guy who literally places his victims in specific poses after killing them and leaves tally marks on his body for
Yeah, it's not... Victor Zsasz is definitely not a normal human being, and treating him like an animal, not too far of a stretch for how it should be.
Every single kill.
This point gets brought up a couple times, so I'm just gonna answer it a bit later in the video. And by later in the video, I mean actually right at the end. I'm not even capping, I just realized. Stay until the end of the video. Another moment that shows that Arkham Batman is not a great Batman was one that I didn't even realize until very recently. Funny enough, the ending of Arkham City when he goes to save Talia instead of the entirety of Arkham City.
Okay, everyone's been coming after me in the comments because I said that he does go after Talia first. He doesn't.
I think I know what he's trying to get at, though. I think the Adam Smith's trying to get at that he wanted to save Talia, but Bruce kind of had to convince him of otherwise. Fair enough, but there is a massive risk that comes to this that I hope he mentions.
Talia first. I got it wrong. Sorry. Miswording on my part.
By this logic, Peter...
Well, I think there's another reason why you could advocate going after Talia was actually the smart option, because the Joker, or at least we think it's the Joker, but with a Clayface, he's working with the Joker, same thing. The Joker is in possession of Talia. Now, if Joker is to get his hands on immortality, you know how many hundreds of years he could live for and take even more lives that are even way more than what's in Arkham City currently. So you could literally think of it like Joker will kill more lives in the long run if we do not save Talia immediately. That's what I think.
Peter Parker from Marvel's Spider-Man is a selfish prick during the whole Devil's Breath crisis when Aunt May ended up getting sick.
It took me a while to reason out why, but I think these decisions feel very different, even though they are very similar. I think the Arkham City Talia scene feels brutally out of left field after Bruce had spent 2 games being the unfailing savior of Gotham City, and he just...
I also think that there's a possibility that Batman was probably, the game developers probably wanted, to show that Batman is still human. Even though it's his job to save people and be a superhero, deep down he is still a human being who sometimes might let emotions kind of get conflicted in the mix of who to save.
Almost decides to throw it all away. Even if this had, at the time, been the hardest night of his life. Bruce and Talia also don't really actually mention that they've spent that much time together. They literally talk about one single night that they had together in Metropolis, and not much else. The League doesn't train Bruce to our knowledge in this universe either, so we really don't know that much more. I gotta say, I have a big problem with the assumptions that happen in the comments. People are like, oh, we only see Bruce on his worst nights. We have to assume that he's better on his other nights. Like, no, we don't. We see how he is on these nights, and we don't.
No, but I would just go off the assumption that these nights that we see in these games are the average night for Batman. That's what I would assume.
Don't see how he is on these other nights. So why the hell would we assume things that we don't see? It's a massive fallacy. I think on the opposite end, Peter's moment is perfect. It's the embodiment of him fulfilling Spider-Man's motto, the saying that the character goes by in every single canon of with great power comes great responsibility, or must come great responsibility, or whatever the actual real saying is in the comics. And it just makes sense for this to occur. Whereas for Bruce, it just feels brutally out of character.
But sometimes everyone's going to have the out of character moments, you know what I mean?
Makes sense for the writers to put him in that scenario. Also, the comparison of Talia, who Bruce at minimum had a one-night stand with, versus the woman who raised Peter Parker.
No, I admit, it's not the same comparison. It's not the exact same thing, but I think he was just trying to prove a point in a similar context, at least, I think.
Who God knows where his parents are. This would be like if you compare Alfred dying and Aunt May dying, sure.
Another example of Batman not being selfish in the Arkham games is when Bruce figured out in Arkham Origins that Bane knew his identity and was about to immediately go to the Batcave to make sure Alfred was safe, but he had to stop Firefly before he could do so.
I appreciate you bringing up a time when Bruce regresses, because it gives me a chance to talk about how good.
Yeah, Batman, I guess that is kind of regressing in a way. If he goes from, he has to deal with Firefly first before he can save Alfred to, we need to save Talia before the rest of the city. I can understand how you consider that regression. But like I mentioned earlier, the Joker could have gotten his hands on immortality. That is something that does need to be mentioned here in this case.
good Arkham Origins actually is. So the whole point of Arkham Origins is for Bruce to go from being this angry, I want to beat the shit out of people vigilante to I trust my allies and I want...
It's a growing experience for him to stop being so selfish and for him to realize he needs to work with a team.
To help people sort of hero, right? That's the whole point of the game. And then when we go to Arkham Knight, and how does he treat his allies? And we go to Arkham City...
Well, I mean... Batman's defense, in Arkham Knight, Batman's mental health was very much deteriorating, and I don't think he wanted to get too close to anybody. He didn't want to get anybody even remotely near this Joker virus that he had within him.
And how does he feel about saving people? Whatever, man.
I kind of fail to understand how Tim gets treated poorly in that one rooftop scene in Arkham City right after Batman puts a tracker on one of Talia's elite guard. All Batman does is reassure Tim that he'll be fine and that Tim is better off helping with the literal fact that Joker's infected blood was sent to countless hospitals in Gotham. He's not...
I think the counter argument to that would probably be that he kind of just pushed him away and told him... He basically... It almost sounded like he told him he didn't want him around in a way.
Pushing him aside because he thinks he's lesser than him.
I had it under control. Why did Alfred send you?
He was worried about you.
Yeah, we all know the scenes.
Take this.
As he should be. Bruce almost dies. Robin being here could be really helpful. I guess this is a good use for him, but he could also just, like, send the fucking Batwing to send the sample.
But I think the game wanted to show Robin to show that Robin's still around as well. Because we didn't get to see it all in the first game.
Cave to have Alfred do it. Because to be honest, we don't even know where Alfred goes for like half the campaign, right? So it's like, why couldn't he analyze some blood? And then he basically says he doesn't need him the entire rest of the game. And I mean, theoretically he doesn't. He doesn't die.
No, because Batman's proven that he doesn't need Robin. So, if Batman doesn't need Robin, Robin could be off doing other things to make Gotham a better place. He doesn't need to be where Bruce is.
He just, like, literally looks at the gates of heaven and has to drink Lazarus juice in order to live. I'm just saying, Tim would have been a valuable asset and Alfred could...
But it didn't even matter in the end.
Did blood stuff.
While Batman did kind of get carried away with what was done with Tim, it wasn't out of spite or thinking Tim wasn't deserving of being put out into the field. He is genuinely terrified of what could happen to Tim and doesn't want to...
Yeah, he's trying to protect Tim, but he just goes about it in the wrong way, I think.
Risk him getting hurt out there or worse.
Then why do you put an able-bodied kid that you've trained for like half a decade into a cell? It's not clear thinking.
No, but that's also because, like I mentioned earlier, Batman's mental state in Batman Arkham Knight also was not... He was not doing very well, and I don't think he was 100% thinking clearly in this situation.
Not to mention, Batman throughout most of the narrative was exposed to Scarecrow's fear toxin, making his fear of turning into the Joker and losing the ones he cares about amplified by like...
Facts.
I mean, I guess the fear toxin thing is valid, but
that's facts.
It doesn't necessarily... It's kind of just an excuse. Somebody being drunk and getting...
No, but that's kind of the entire point, though, to show that Batman's deteriorating and isn't doing very well, and he's turning into the Joker.
Into a fight doesn't make them immune to the charges.
No, but that's different, though, because when you're drinking, you cause yourself to drink and put yourself in a situation where you can get into a fight. If you are suffering with a mental health illness because of something that happened to you, that is not something that you can control. I don't think that those are the same thing or fair comparisons.
Of having committed assault, right? He does end up losing Tim from shoving him in that cell, though, right?
He doesn't seem to care about most people. I feel like this can be displayed in his side characters, especially.
He does have the eye of the tiger.
Are you sure about that?
Show me otherwise. Oh, this.
You're Robin, Jim.
Yeah, so he's probably going to show that Batman, he's trying to get Jason Todd to realize he is Robin, that he's not this supervillain, that he can come back. And this is what I mean. Batman does want to rehabilitate people.
The one thing.
I found Jason.
You didn't find Jason. Jason found you. Is this kind of undermined by the fact that he doesn't ever look for Jason before? Like, I mean, it is a good moment because he is reaching out a hand to Jason. Like, I can't.
But I can imagine that after a week, Batman probably thought that Joker had killed him because, like, what else would you have to do with him at that point?
But the first thing I thought of was, man, it'd be a lot better if you did this to the kid that was in the asylum, getting his shit kicked in by Joker, rather than the kid that had already got his shit kicked in by Joker a trillion times. It is a good moment, though.
I'll admit that. If you know that the Joker has Jason, how the fuck don't you search Arkham Asylum? Like,
Because
what
he
the
probably
fuck?
didn't.
And within 6 months of giving up on his...
Well, because Batman saw the video of Joker shooting him, and Batman thought he'd killed him. So I can't imagine that he probably thought there was much of a point in going after him at that point.
Clearly a very investigative and thorough search. He just replaced it with a different Robin.
Because he saw him shot, he thought he was dead.
6 months! And I'm not talking like 6 months and then like, you know, he started training Tim. I'm talking 6 months and Joker shows Jason a picture of Tim in the field.
Yeah, because I don't think that Batman even knew he was alive. Like he thought he was dead, but also, even if you don't factor that in here, you know, I think that Batman hadn't seen any evidence that Jason would have come out of that situation alive. He might not have had faith in Jason. Jason might have already had mental issues to begin with, which could have made everything so much more complicated with the Joker. It's possible that some of this also could have been exaggerated, because like it says on screen here, this is a hallucination, but it's a bit of a confusing situation.
Like, dude, I like, what? Did Bruce give him like a week? Clearly, he cared for him a lot. He didn't look for him, and he replaced him pretty swiftly.
Bruce literally sacrifices his secret identity in order to save Robin and Jim Gordon when they were captured by Scarecrow
Facts.
at the end of Arkham Knight, and was willing to fake his death to protect the ones closest to him.
That's definitely a very selfless thing.
Again, I'm not sure why one would need to show empathy to the freaking Batman's rogues gallery out of all things. These people in question are either superpowered psychos or regular mofos who consistently put innocents in danger for their grand schemes.
Yeah, that's why I'm not afraid to be more violent with them.
Should Batman show empathy towards Professor Pig, who experimented on people and made them into his dolls that couldn't feel any pain, or when he killed people? What about the Warden in the Killer Croc mission in the Season of Infamy DLC? I mean, he experimented and tortured Killer Croc and other thugs for his selfish desires. Deacon Blackfire literally tried to sacrifice Jack Ryder for some ritual. Should Scarecrow have a good old talking to, despite the fact he wanted to engulf the entire east coast of America in fear toxins?
Yeah, like, this is, like, you don't treat people like that, like normal human beings, because they are not normal human beings. They are despicable and need to be locked away and throw the key away.
So the reason that I think that Bruce should feel some sort of empathy for these criminals is because most of them aren't just criminals by choice. I mean, it's not like most of Batman's villains chose to be villains anyway. Most of them were forced into it thanks to their past trauma. I mean,
Yeah, but I thought that stuff wasn't good enough, though. You said earlier about getting drunk into a fight. But that's what I meant about mental health. That mental health could sometimes cause a lot of these issues.
Two-Face, Joker, Clayface, and Killer Croc are all brutally easy examples of this, seeing as they literally have cosmetic damage from said past trauma. But even more psychologically damaged criminals like Harley, Professor Pig, or yeah, even Victor Zsasz, who are highly skilled individuals in their own rights, but use these skills for gross evil rather than good. And I personally believe Batman is best when he believes that anyone can change for the better, even people like Zsasz or Pig. That these people can one day use their past trauma.
Yes, he wants to rehabilitate them, but at the same time, if he's catching someone doing something illegal or doing something that they should really not be doing, then yeah, he's not going to treat them with the most amount of respect. I mean, why? Because why would you? Maybe at another time, after he's calmed down. You also have to consider, a lot of times there's probably adrenaline pumping through his body. There's probably stuff that he's feeling and stuff that it's hard for him to process in that moment because he's so angry by what he is seeing.
For good rather than evil, like him. Otherwise, what's the point of the no-kill rule? In this case, it just becomes selfish. If Zsasz can't change, he deserves to be killed, not just taken back to Arkham. Bruce is murdering more people by keeping Zsasz, Clayface, Croc, Two-Face, Harley, and the Joker than he ever would if he simply stopped the Joker's crime spree then and there.
All the people I've murdered by letting you live.
I never kept count.
I did.
There are some stories where Bruce seems to have other reasons for the no-kill rule, like how he thinks that he wouldn't be able to stop from killing people, and that just doesn't
That's possible.
sit right with me. I really don't like the idea that Batman doesn't kill people just because he seems to think he'll keep killing people.
No, but it's because Batman is a little bit... Batman's not a normal human being either, right? Like, even though he's a good guy, he's not a normal human being for dressing up as a bat and going out and beating up criminals. That's not a normal thing to do. So I think he's aware of his own potential mental health situation.
Just gross. It's not heroic. If Bruce is just one bad day away from finding a way to use his trauma for good, perhaps his villains could have been one bad day away from doing the same. And no, I don't think Batman should just have a stern talking to with these people. No, I think he has incredible amounts of resources and could find them help from places other than the people that are abusing them at Arkham Asylum or the people.
Yeah, stern talking to doesn't work, but what do you want him to do then? If a stern talking to doesn't work, but yet they should still be treated like they're humans, do you want him to roll out the red carpet and bake them a cake? Is that what you're trying to get at?
People that want to fucking murder them in Arkham City.
I can agree, however, that they did hoe Nightwing in Arkham Knight, especially with that Harley Quinn boss fight, as well as when he got captured or held at gunpoint twice by the Penguin.
Yeah, Nightwing's kind of trash in that game, I ain't gonna lie.
They really fucked Dick over, bro. It's so sad.
This thing is trash.
He never feels like the same Bruce Wayne that we get to see in the animated series. He's not playful and funny and charismatic. He's dark and brooding and rarely has...
Yeah, but I think that's the whole theme of this game franchise. And also because that's a kid's show. That's PG. Or sorry, that's G, sorry. Pretty sure it's G, so you can't compare it. It's not the same thing.
The chance to do anything but take the world seriously.
While Arkham Bruce Wayne certainly isn't as fleshed out as the animated series, saying Bruce Wayne was just cold to everyone around him or that he wasn't charming or funny is just simply incorrect.
In a few moments,
They also had like 65 episodes to work with. They had 4 games here for this that aren't super long in terms of story mode. They're not super in depth in terms of that. It's more about the villains themselves, I think, that make these games so great. And I think that's part of the reason why Batman's character isn't as fleshed out, but you have some amazing villains to go along with it. So I think it balances itself.
Bruce Wayne will be live on stage to explain his sudden interest in Gotham politics.
He does
the
have
infamous
this line.
Playboy millionaire has never been one to...
Billionaire, Vicky.
Is there more? I'm not thinking
So
of?
last year.
Please.
So far,
It seems to be after your title as Gotham's biggest philanthropic industrialist.
Gotham needs more people like him.
Bruce!
Hey.
Yeah, they are showing moments in the Arkham franchise of Bruce being human, right? It's just that they're so few and far in between that it's almost forgettable, and I think that's the point.
I am blown away by your support.
It's well deserved. You're going to change the world, Ferris.
Hey, we'll change it together, right?
I feel like Origins is just 10 times better than the other Arkham games when it comes to getting Bruce just to be a person.
That's true. That's true.
Once again. So, yeah, valid. Props to you for using Origins, where I totally feel like you're correct. And City, once again, shockingly, where he almost doesn't.
Yeah,
seem
City
like a
doesn't
man
do
for the
much
rest of it.
character development for Bruce Wayne, but for Batman, I'd say it kind of comes full circle when it comes to his relationship with the Joker, how to close a character off, basically.
Game, he just seems like a tool. Not in like a bad way, but like a tool for justice.
Say that beating up thugs is the only thing he cares about in these games, and having that mentality is kind of disingenuous to the arcs and stories the character went through in the Arkham series. Him not showing compassion to literal...
Fucking what arcs? I just don't get his arc. He doesn't...
His best character arc was in Batman Arkham Origins. Outside of that, you could say that he has a good relationship arc with the Joker, the end of City, and you could say Batman Arkham Knight has a good ending, a way to end the franchise. But in terms of Batman or Bruce Wayne's actual character, it has its best development in Origins, by far.
He just becomes colder.
Psychotic murderers or calling them animals doesn't make him any less of a character, which is shown through the countless people he's helped and saved over the course of the series. Sure, the Bat family definitely should have been more prominent.
I think it could be counted. Don't think it would be more than 50. Okay, so I was very wrong. So I asked a couple buddies of mine to help me go through and count every single person that Batman saved in the Arkham series.
Yeah.
Massive thanks to FCAB, Kiosk, and Storm King. Massive thanks to FCAB, especially for playing through not just, I believe it was Origins that he played through first, but also Night. Legends, for real. Yeah, so Batman actually saves a shit ton of people.
What's the number? What's the number? Take a guess.
I just didn't remember it. Look at this. Hang on, let's get a total count. Maybe I'll just scroll through this.
I'm gonna guess, like, throughout the course of the entire franchise, he probably saves, like, probably 100 people.
So you
Close
guys
to
can
it.
see it and pause if you want.
but I'm gonna do some quick math.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess 100. How many people do you guys think he saved?
Okay, so 28 in Asylum, it looks like. So thanks again to Kiosk for doing Asylum. Let's go over to my non-pictured count of City.
Yeah, 60 people in the city. Okay, my number's even too low.
Which I just put together a rough count on while I was doing a playthrough on Twitch recently. Speaking of which, go follow me on Twitch. But yeah, we got 60 people in this game. And then there was one guy you could have saved, but I assume that Bruce is not gonna save optional people. Also, there's like a trillion people he already saves anyway, so the one number isn't gonna change too much. Going over to Origins.
We'll do it in the point being, I'm assuming that he probably just he's going through all the people that got saved. So I'm not even gonna bother reacting to the rest of this video. We kind of get the gist. Batman is a good Batman because he saves a lot of people, but also you can't make comparisons to Batman the animated series. I'm going to stand on that hill. You can't make comparisons to the animated series because there's more time to flesh out the characters. You got 65 episodes. You got to flesh out Bruce Wayne. You got to flesh out all the supervillains, all these other characters, Alfred's character, everybody. You have more time to do that. Whereas in Batman Arkham City, you only got 4 games to work with in terms of a story, where the story modes themselves aren't generally that long. And in said story mode, you need to be able to flesh out the supervillains and Batman himself in one night. Because if the game went out over the course of a few days, then yeah, you would have more time to flush him out and let us see Bruce Wayne as a character. And I think Batman Arkham Origins did the best job with making Bruce Wayne seem human, make Batman look human. The other games, Batman, for the most part, is not very emotional. He's pretty cold, generally. However, everything he does is with reason, and I don't think he's a bad iteration of Batman. A bad iteration of Batman would be like someone who carries a gun. Someone who tries to shoot people and unalive them. So that's what I personally think a bad Batman would be. But this is not a bad Batman. Just because he's a bit colder, he's going through mental health struggles, for God's sake, especially in Arkham Knight. In Arkham City, he's got the Joker's blood in him, and he's freaking out. Like, I think we can catch the guy a bit of a break. He's human, right? I understand he's a superhero, but he's a normal human. He doesn't have any superpowers or anything. So I think we need to take that into consideration. But when it comes to the Adam Smith video, it's all respect. He makes great videos. Go check out his channel. Seriously, he makes good videos. I just wanted to, react to this because I hadn't seen it yet. And yeah, I'm going to put it up on the channel after this live stream's done. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe. And I'll see you later. Peace.